Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at a new dual microphone system from Great Video Maker, otherwise known as GVM. And as I mentioned in my last video, this is a new company I've started working with to review their products. So they did send this out to me for free, but full disclosure, they have not seen this video before I published it. And of course, I'll always give you my honest opinion. So let's take a quick look at what's included. You get a nice hard case to carry your device around in, and this is sort of a canvas material on the outside. And then inside, of course, you have your charging box, a couple of charging cables, some wind muffs, and the 3.5 millimeter TRS jack so you can plug the mic into your camera system. Now looking at the charging box itself, you can see it's roughly about 2 3/4 inches tall by about 4 inches wide, and it's about 1 3/4 inches deep. On the outside, we have 4 LED lights indicating the battery level of the charging box itself. And then on the back, we have a standard USB-C port to charge the charging box's battery. And then inside, we have the microphone system itself. So we have our two receivers or transmitters here and a receiver here. And you'll notice that this one is blinking, indicating that this is currently in a charging status, whereas these two are off, indicating that they are currently fully charged. And they just kind of drop in magnetically. So even if I hold this upside down, the microphones won't drop out. And you should get about 10 hours of battery life in the microphone system itself. And with the charging case, it should recharge all three devices fully 2 more times. So theoretically, you should get about 30 hours of battery life. Now, I have used this microphone system for about 4 to 6 hours, and I did notice the battery life went down to about half. So I think the claims by the manufacturer for battery life are about right. But as usual, your mileage may vary. So the key features of this microphone system include that it is a dual microphone system, so you can record 2 people at the same time into the same video file, thereby saving you time in post-processing so you don't have to sync like multiple audio recording devices. And it's ideal for like if you have your partner with you or maybe you're doing an interview, it'll save you a lot of time. Also, it has a voice recognition noise canceling algorithm built into it to give you clear audio even in a relatively noisy environment. And something you don't find a lot of times on these very compact microphone systems, it does have a dedicated 3.5 millimeter microphone input, so you can attach, say, a lavalier microphone like I have here, or maybe a boom microphone, what have you. Now, one other really unique feature of this system is that this transmitter actually has built-in internal memory to record audio separately from what you're recording on your camera. And so what that means is that this becomes an independent audio recorder. However, what it's recording is actually what they call a safety track or backup track, and it's recorded about 6 decibels lower than the audio recorded in your camera. Now, a safety track is a very common technique used by audio technicians where if there is a spike in the audio levels, there's a very high chance that the audio recorded in the camera is going to be clipped and distorted. So what you would do is download the audio tracks off this device and repair those distorted portions from the audio recorded here internally, because it was recorded at a much lower level. And another benefit is if you lose connection with the receiver for whatever reason, you'll still have the entire audio track recorded internally. And I believe this will record up to about 20 hours in total. You just simply plug in your USB from here into your computer, and you can download the tracks individually as needed. All right, now let's go outside and do some testing of this microphone system in the field. All right, I'm going to test the 3 different ways you can record audio using this microphone system. First, we're going to test it using this cheap lavalier mic that I just found laying around plugged into the transmitter. And then we're going to test talking directly into the microphone without the lavalier microphone. And then we're also going to compare that against the microphone's internal audio, as well as the cameras, straight out of camera microphones. So what you've been listening up to right now is the audio from the lavalier microphone with noise reduction turned on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stay silent for a couple of seconds, just so you get an idea of the noise canceling feature. So let me go ahead and turn the noise canceling off. Now the noise canceling is off, and I'll stay silent for a moment. And that'll give you an idea of the ambient noise that the microphone picks up with no noise canceling. And then this is how the audio sounds from the straight out of camera mics using my B-roll camera right here. Okay, I'm going to turn the noise canceling back on. All right, now let's test the audio straight into the microphone itself without the lavalier. So I'm just going to unplug it. And this is what the audio sounds like directly into the microphone, of course, close up to my mouth. So this audio quality should be as good as it gets. Now I'm going to try and tuck this sort of under my shirt a little bit. This is how a lot of content creators put the microphone. I don't like this particular look. I'd rather use the lav mic, but this is what it sounds like when it's placed, in the most typical or common area that I've seen online. Personally, I'd rather stick it into my pocket if you have a shirt pocket. And the audio level is going to be a little bit lower at this point, you may have noticed, because it's not as close to the audio source, my mouth in this case. So I'm going to make a little adjustment here so you can hear, in post-processing, and see if I can bring it up to the same level as when I had it here, and then also when I was using the lav mic. All right, I'm going to plug the lavalier microphone back in. And now I'm going to start recording the audio directly into the microphone itself. All right, now I'm recording the audio directly into the microphone, and this is what it sounds like. It really shouldn't sound any different than what I did through the receiver on the camera, but we'll see, right? How good is the audio quality recording internally in this microphone via the lav mic? And then I'm just going to unplug it here. So now I'm just speaking directly into the microphone without the lavalier mic recorded internally. This is what you're hearing is the internal recording of this microphone. All right, now what I'm going to do is just a quick distance test, something kind of realistic. I'm just going to walk to the fence line and back, and what you want to listen for if there's any crackling in the audio or dropouts and things like that. And this is a more realistic distance, right? I mean, I think the range is 100 meters or something. That's pretty typical of these types of microphones. I'll put the specs up on the screen here of what the manufacturer claims the line of sight distance is. But technically, because my back is facing you, this is not line of sight. All right, so I've reached the fence line, and I'm going to walk back. And now we're line of sight, right, between the microphone here in my pocket, back to the receiver on the camera. All right, so that's really all the testing we need to do outside. I wanted to do a couple of tests inside, particularly when we use two microphones at the same time under a little bit more controlled conditions so we can actually see if there is a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to this microphone system from the one that I'm currently using, which is my old Rode microphone system. All right, now what you're listening to is microphone number 2, and both microphones are paired with the receiver. The only difference is I unplugged microphone number 1 from the lavalier mic, and I placed it down onto my desk here. So let's see what happens when I switch microphones. Now I'm talking on microphone number 1, and as you can see, there's virtually no difference in the audio levels or the audio quality between the two. But what happens when I bring them close together? And what I found was that the audio levels were actually a little bit higher, but there's, again, no change in the audio levels, generally speaking. And so I'm going to take microphone number 1 away, and now you're listening to microphone number 2. And this is microphone number 1. And now this is both microphones at the same time. All right, now you're listening to microphone number 1 plugged back into the lavalier microphone, and the audio quality actually is not quite as good as when I was talking directly into this microphone. However, again, with a little post-processing, those things are easily cleaned up. And I think this microphone system did an excellent job in the dual microphone test by not dropping the audio levels in particular, dropping them in half, which I've seen before. And then when they were combined, there was no feedback, which I really like, and the audio levels, if anything, were just a little bit higher by about 2 or 3 decibels at most. I want to talk about some of the likes and dislikes of this system relative to my experience with other wireless systems that I've used. I own the Rhodes, an Asden system. I also have a Comica brand. And all of these systems, do a good job, and relative to that, I think this microphone system has the best audio quality in terms of how my voice sounds. I like this the best. The noise canceling system is also the best, but it's a little bit of a compromise compared to, say, to my Comica system. This system, the noise cancellation seems to leave just a little bit of the ambient sound in the background, but my voice sounds much more natural, I think. Versus my other system, my Comica, it totally cancels out the ambient sound, but then unless I'm speaking directly into the microphone, the audio quality of my voice got a little bit thin, I think. I mean, it's still acceptable, and really, I don't think, for all intents and purposes, is fine. But with the this microphone system, it did leave a little bit of the ambient noise in, but then my voice didn't lose any of its like robustness. Is I guess the best way to put it. Now, there's really only two things that I didn't like about this system, and it really has to do with workflow. I wouldn't call them deal breakers, but I thought I'd share it with you. One is when you put the microphones in and out of the case, the charging box, it doesn't automatically turn on or off the microphone system. So when you put the microphones back into the box when you're done, you have to make sure they're turned off, or when you take them out, you have to make sure you turn them on. And then the transmitters will automatically pair with the receiver. But I found that one of the microphones was not already paired, so I had to pair it manually before I could use it. But once I paired the second microphone to the receiver, I haven't had to do it again since, and I've had this for a couple of weeks now. But so that's one. The other thing that I didn't like is that the individual transmitters do not have a mute button. You can mute both mics at the same time on the receiver, but you can't do it individually on the transmitters. So this doesn't leave any control to the individual person speaking to turn on and off their mic, which may or may not be a big deal, but that's just something you should be aware of. All right, now I want to share with you just a couple of the finer points of using this system, and I'll just start with the wind muff itself. It does not attach magnetically or clip in. What actually you have to do is you line it up with the notches inside and twist it, take it on or off. And once you have it on and twisted in, this is not going to come off. So I like that this is very, very secure. The other feature this microphone system has is something called the American tone, which basically gives your voice a little bit deeper or richer tone to it, like a DJ type voice. I prefer more of a tenor to my voice than the DJ type sound, but I'll turn it on now so you can hear it. All right, now I've turned on the DJ voice or American tone, and this is what my voice sounds like when I have the equalizer turned on. And again, it's not the kind of sound that I prefer, but maybe you might like it, so it is there available for you. So overall, I really like this microphone system. The audio quality is great. The noise canceling works well. The backup track or internal recording is a very unique feature at this price point. And speaking of price point, GVM in GVM style is giving you a tremendous value. You're getting a dual microphone system, and the retail price is $139. And as of the recording of this video, I saw it on sale in Amazon for $109 for a dual microphone system with all of these features. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in this microphone system, to get it now while it's on sale. And I think you'll be very happy with it. And it's now going to become my primary audio recording device for everything that I do. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.